Alright guys, HyDra again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The major drama of the most recent weekend of CDL matches was what was happening with Cellium and the snaking against the Boston Breach. Boston not especially happy about these activities at all. Cellium said, oh well, I guess I snaked, but I did so for good reason. The question was, what are the consequences going to be? This time last year, lots of drama about gentlemen's agreements getting broken and what they were going to do about it. The decisions that the pros have made is, if you break the GAs, you get no practice for an upcoming day or potentially an upcoming week. Shotzzy reveals that the punishment for Falcons when they're back to scrimming in the new year will be 1 week of no scrims at all. Clayster says that's useless for various reasons and therefore they shouldn't be penalised, although some might disagree with this perspective. Very much enjoy to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. A couple of things just wanted to start with on the snipers because it has been a big conversation so far in Black Ops 7. It's great that this conversation has, to a degree, now been put to bed, as in the snipers are here, they're not going anywhere, right? I think again we have recognised that yeah, the sniper is strong, it's currently in the game, played in Search and Destroy, but it's not outrageously overpowered that it's just a free win every single time to the guy that has it, because also the other guy in the other team can have it as well. I think the question right now for me is about the 2 life rule. If you guys aren't aware, it's not an official rule in the league, but the players have agreed that the sniper on each team will have 2 lives to use the sniper. If they die with the sniper twice, then they can't pull it out again. It's an interesting rule. The intention of it is to make sure that the sniper isn't just appearing all of the time no matter what. And initially I didn't hate this idea just because it's better than not using it at all. But I actually think that the way the sniper currently is, given that I don't think it's actually outrageously powerful, that this rule probably isn't needed anyway, and maybe even makes things worse, because if there's a sniper on the other team who's frying and I lose 2 gunfights to him in a row, then I can't even counter him anymore. But also if I'm stinking up the gaff with a sniper, as we've seen plenty of players do in the past, but refuse to switch off it, you know, now I'm getting forced to switch off it because, you know, sometimes, yeah, the sniper might be good, but actually this round it might be better pulling out an AR or a sub and 4 hitting down a bomb site. And the 2 life rule actually kind of forces the team to do that rather than actually have the mental aptitude and say, okay, maybe it's better we put the sniper away this round. I think the other thing is that in round 11, we want there to be snipers. Round 11, I mean, imagine game 5, game 7, round 11, you've got a sniper on each team. That's what it's all about, because round 11s tend to be a bit more cagey, a bit slower, because it's the final rounds of the map. Snipers tend to be pretty useful in going for opening picks round 11 with the sniper, but it's also a big risk. If you have the sniper at round 11 and you don't get any activity, let's say you've got to retake a bomb site, now you're in serious trouble potentially, right? So I think that maybe they should tweak that. They did say, the pros, that if the developers get rid of the aim assist on the sniper, they will get rid of the 2 life rule. We'll see. I don't think it's necessary anyway. I don't think it's going to necessarily change for the players in the new year, but I do think that it's probably not required. It's just better that we have snipers than we don't. These are, according to FaZe COD News, the sniper leaderboards so far. Super is actually topping it up with 14 snipes so far in the matches they've played. Beans is second with 10. Then you've got Abuzah has 6, tied with Sib actually, and then tied with Dashy as well. So that's the early sniper leaderboard, but it's interesting that Super has raced into a strong early advantage. Bean's also considered to be a very good sniper. Certainly that was the case, as you guys might remember, back in Modern Warfare 2. Dashy is always going to be in the conversation as well. And it's just interesting that Abuzah is the certified sniper on FaZe, when you might not necessarily expect that, because obviously back in the day it was Simp in games such as Black Ops 4. Couple of other things I thought was interesting to note, because we know that a Lurqxx, we talked about in the last couple of days where he might be going. But what's about the other top challengers players, right? ProLoot, I mean, look, some call him AmLoot, which may not even be too much of a roast, because he has been cooking in challenges. You know, ProLoot over the last couple of years has kind of been the gatekeeper, right, of challenges. I mean, look at this success. Modern Warfare 3, the cups, Black Ops 6, tons of cups he won so far in this game, won a couple of cups as well. It's just interesting, right, because if you're ProLoot, yeah, your success over the last couple of years in challenges is undeniable. And to be fair, ProLoot, by winning all these cups, he's not making a bad living in a way. Like, there's actually decent money in challenges now if you do you know, winning the cups, turning up to the LAN events, you know, it's okay. But of course the goal is to get into the Pro League. That's where the real money is theoretically. Guys like Prolute, it's just kind of difficult, right? Because he's been in challenges now so long, considered to be the gatekeeper of challenges in some regards, has won loads of cups, but hasn't got the opportunity. It's like, well, is he going to get that opportunity again? Now, look, you may well argue if guys like TJ are getting another chance, maybe even if guys like Afro are getting another chance. Though I think Afro's a little bit different because the talent ceiling was most certainly there. Should Prolute get another chance as well? I think it's very plausible that he should. But again, you can understand why the teams have a slightly different approach to this. It's also why, you know, Fellow, while being such a valuable asset for many new players that he plays with, it's just difficult to imagine which team it would bring him back up to the Pro League, even if it might be a great idea on paper. The other remarkable thing about this Prolute story is this. So, Sparks, Prolute and Capstone, they've been a trio for some time. They, of course, started out this game under Bush Gaming with TJ in the team. Now, last year, I actually wasn't aware of this, but CDC Intel pointed out, I thought it was a pretty crazy coincidence. So last year, Sparks, Prolute and Capstone, they won the first cup, they lost the second cup. At the time, they were teaming with Huke. Then Huke got picked up to the league, to OpTic, as we know. So instead, they then picked up a main AR in Arcetes, put Prolute to a sub, and won the third cup. So last year, they won Cup 1, lost Cup 2, won Cup 3, after a roster change following Cup 2. This year, effectively, the same thing exactly has happened. TJ's left, they brought in Fire, and they went on to win the third cup. And in both of those cups, they beat Dimacon and Exceed in a Game 7. So pretty wild. And it may even be, Prolute said in the replies, like, was this even... might have been both round 11, so he's not exactly sure. So, yeah, the only conclusion of this is congratulations, TJ Halley and the Vancouver Surge, you are the 2026 World Champions, right? Because, of course, Huke ended up getting picked up to the Pro League, went on to win champs with OpTic. Unlikely that part of it will repeat itself this season, but TJ is back in the league. It's still not been officially confirmed, which is a little confusing because Bush have announced that TJ's gone. Surge, I don't know why they've not announced this yet. Maybe they'll wait until the new year so they can update their intro or whatever. But yeah, they're bringing him in for Lqgend when Lqgend is literally already playing on Stallion. So we know that this changes happens. He's, of course, back in the league now playing with Gwinn again, right? And Gwinn is set to jump this list, jump higher on this list during the season, assuming that Surge actually continue with that roster because they may or may not, depending on how the season goes for them. But let's talk about this drama. So last time out that we were actually playing some COD matches, the Falcons played Boston, and this was the controversial moment. Now, Celium came out after the series and said, oh, well, I was only snaking because they snaked me in a previous map or they used a smoke or something. But look, Celium snaking here is especially egregious to the extent that whatever happened to him on the other side, it was only Celium really that was ever going to get punished for something like this. And look, it doesn't get more egregious than this from Celium really, especially because they went on to win this map. I'm not saying that it should matter, but when Lunarz did a little bit of a snaky on, what was it, Scar, they lost the map, they lost the series anyway, so people didn't care about it so much, and it wasn't as bad as this anyway, really. But the fact that Celium was pumping this heady like this, which the pros have now GA'd for some time, and they brought the comeback and they won this map and they won the series, it definitely got people talking. So the OpTic boys had their take on it, and it's actually been very interesting what was said even by Clayster, their coach, over the last couple of days. But the OpTic guys say, look, if you're going to ban them for a day of scrims, that makes no difference. Like, the value in snaking a heady and getting the win is much more than 1 day of lost practice. So Shotzzy's very clear, and he put it in the chat, he says, that if we are going to, let's say, take a hard stance on this, which, let's be honest, if they don't take a hard stance to Celium into this now, then, you know, you could wave goodbye to any kind of stake in GA, because Cell will just do it again, and other teams and players will do it again as well. So if they are going to continue this GA to uphold it, they've got to act. And Shotzzy says, look, yeah, we'll do it, but it should be relatively serious because otherwise people will just snake and take the 1 day of practice loss. Obviously, there are first and second defenses to be considered as well. So if Celium was to do it again, and if he was to do it again egregiously, as Dashy implies, then yeah, we're not going to be very happy about that, and who knows what happens next. But the point is that they are in favor of a 1-week ban for practice. Clayster, however, doesn't think it's going to make much difference.
It's all such bullshit. And the funny thing is, we have 2 academy teams, so we're just going to play them the whole time, bro.
Oh, okay.
Don't fucking matter. That's not a real punishment. GAs are bullshit, man. Oh, you lose a warm-up. Okay, we'll just snake the fuck out of you in our next match.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That guy go. What?
Yeah, it's actually crazy, bro. It's actually fucking insane, man. I think we should go back to snaking.
10 CDL points, for sure.
Clay, if you were playing and Cell did that against you, you would fucking start. You would go ballistic.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
And you know what I'd do, Zin? You know what I'd do?
Spam hitting the vape. You'd start.
I would start snaking back.
Clay, he hasn't had the vape in 2 years. So congratulate him.
Thank you.
You'd start doing it back, huh, Clay?
I'd start doing it back.
Yeah. That's
So I know last year, if you snaked, you got like a 1-day penalty of no scrims. But I mean, after this shit,
1 day. I feel like I would snake anyway.
no, exactly. I mean, that's what I said in the rep chat.
If you need the points, like 1 day.
That's what I said. I was like, bro, if I'm able to snake like this and I'm only getting 1 day of practice,
everyone's gonna take it.
It's gotta be a week.
I'm taking that shit. What? Are you kidding me?
I feel like a week's perfect.
Bro, if I could do literally what Cell's doing right here, right? Pump the fuck out of this, get a full 60 and then chain the next hill to come back.
Yeah, this is definitely a little crazy.
I'm doing this shit. But that's why I said in the rep chat, I was like, no, we should literally do one, like, the first offense should be a week, and then the second offense should be in some insane shit, like fucking no month of practice.
No, some insane.
I was like, or else people are just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I guess that probably does.
Or probably like, all right, probably.
I feel like a month,
maybe
like you're not snaking.
I feel like for a month though, like we should definitely judge, like if it was, let's say Falcons do it again, right?
Like that should be a month. If it's like that again,
if Cell does that, in my opinion, if Cell does that again, yeah, probably should be. I kind of believe him because, like, bro, how blamed that was almost like, okay, fuck it, like you guys want to dance.
That was like they almost had to be.
But you should never retaliate to that degree because like you're the one that's always gonna get caught if you know what I'm saying. If you're doing it like that.
So yeah, once we come back from the break, then they're not gonna be able to scrim. But then Clay was like, then they're just gonna scrim their academy team, which like
I don't know if that was like he was trying to strong arm. Like there's no way for a week straight you're gonna be getting quality reps like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to say quality reps, but actually, yeah, I will be saying quality reps.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably get worse scrimming their academy team. With all due respect, I mean, the CDL compared to Challengers is 2 different games.
Because I think he was just trying to say that, like, bro, what we don't like. I don't think he was saying that we don't give a fuck about these GAs. We'll just scrim our team regardless of what happens. Because I don't think he meant it like that. But he meant it like if it is a week only this week, then we could live with it basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, yeah,
it's more the precedent of like basically don't do this shit again.
Clayster's always been a master of the political side here of what happens behind the scenes. And I think that Clay was playing this game again a little bit when he says, look, yeah, you can ban us some scrims, but it's not going to make much difference because we've got Falcons Academy Green, which I think is a Seams team. You got Falcons Academy White, which is like Priest and Arcites and those guys. And they're both solid challenger teams, which they are, right? They're solid challenger teams, but they've not won the cups. I think they're in the grand finals. Falcons Academy White of the second cup, maybe. But whatever it is, they're solid academy teams, solid challengers rosters for sure, but they're not OpTic, they're not, Thieves or whatever. We can't throw Thieves into the conversation. Thieves are a good scrim team, we know that for sure. Whatever happens in the actual matches, Gentlemates, of course, the other top CDL team right now. So just thought it was interesting, a little assessment from Clay to be like, oh yeah, well, if you ban us some scrims, it's not going to matter anyway, because we're still going to scrim, we're still going to play the challengers teams, because, what are you going to do? Stop us playing our own academy that we pay for? Like, that's not going to happen. So, and the players, I don't think are too frustrated about this in the sense that, okay, yeah, sure, you can play your academy teams, but it's not going to be the same quality of practice, especially if, their whole week of scrims is just against their academies. Yeah, they can still practice, they can still try and improve, but actually Shotzzy says that playing against those guys will just make them worse than it would playing against some of the top level teams. So yeah, I think Clay tried to play a little game here, but I don't think it was, well, firing on all cylinders, shall we say. So very much into your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Sarkanet. And hits the triple word score.
So what does
Sarkanet. Unbelievably, he places his 7 tiles.
But no, that's not even the craziest part. He didn't even want to go Sarkanet. He went the other route
In
of
between
this.
the P of Eruption and Ted further down on the board.
How is this
to
guy not
form
as famous
the
as Elon
11
Musk,
letter
bro?
word
What is
per-
this? What is
not-
this? Pernoctated? Pernoctated
Tated for 92 points.
for an
He
11-letter
also hooks
bingo
non to form a non for a
and makes a
little bit
non
of
just here
extra
casually.
flair.
Pernoctated.
Pernoctated
To
is an
pass the
archaic
night
word
in vigil
specific
or
to the
prayer.
Collins Dictionary, meaning to
Bro,
pass the night
what?
in vigil or prayer.
That's the most insane shit I've ever seen. I'm not even trolling. That's the most insane shit I've ever
Find
seen.
it in a game of Scrabble is mind-boggling.
He just put down
Learning all the
Pernoctated.